you know the feeling when you look at one of those weird places like this one and you feel something different? It's like something it's not supposed to be there, or the contrary, something that is supposed to be there, it's not. Kenopsia refers to the unsettling atmosphere of a place that is usually filled with people but stands empty. It describes the feeling that emerges when a space designed for activity is suddenly silent. A shopping mall without shoppers, an airport terminal without passengers, or a school hallway after hours can all create this effect. They are often described as liminal spaces, environments that feel incomplete because the expected human presence is missing. The reaction is subtle, but it is deeply rooted in how we perceive space and activity. You guys really liked the first video of the channel that we talked about feelings humans can't explain. So, continuing with a specific feeling of the same topic, this video explains why empty places feel strange, a psychological phenomenon called Kenopsia. Well, Kenopsia it's not exactly fear or nostalgia. The feeling sits somewhere between familiarity and absence. Human perception relies on pattern recognition. Environments are associated with predictable forms of activity, and when those patterns are interrupted, the brain registers the disruption and searches for occurrence. Emptiness in a context that normally implies present signals change or interruption. The discomfort arises from violated expectation rather than immediate threat, which is the reason why empty places feel weird for us. Across human history, silence and abandonment often carry practical implications. An empty settlement or an extinguished fire could indicate displacement or danger. Although modern environments differ significantly from ancestral settings, perpetual mechanisms remain sensitive to unexpected absence. The response is subtle, but reflects adaptive processes shaped over time. Architecture reinforces this effect. Contemporary public spaces are designed around flow and density. Corridors, escalators, seating layouts, and lighting anticipate circulation and interaction. When movement does not occur, the structure appears suspended, as though paused between intended functions. The design remains intact, but its purpose seems temporarily inactive. As I said before, human brain is designed to identify patterns in everything, and most of times these uncanny environments lack those patterns. Environmental psychology is also linked to memory. A vacant hallway or an active terminal prompts mental reconstruction of prior activity. Individuals often imagine the sounds, routines, and interactions that once defined the space. In this way, absence highlights the impermanence of those routines and underscores the dependence of space on participation. And this is where Kenopsia stopped being just a concept and became something millions of people actually experienced. In recent years, large-scale disruptions have made such environments more visible. Urban centers, transportation hubs, and commercial districts have at times stood with reduced activity. Spaces built for continuous occupation appeared static, reinforcing awareness of how dependent they are on collective presence. The scale of emptiness made the relationship between structure and activity unmistakable. And some games, content, and other things related to those feelings were also created. Because despite being very weird sensations, people seem to like feeling it. And you probably have seen those pictures of old places that are often linked to nostalgia, but I think all those feelings are connected because you can see that the environment looks familiar and you feel the image like something more. It's not only the image itself, but the feeling that it brings to you. And people usually feel nostalgic or connected to this. And this is some kind of Kenopsia also. Well, I don't know how to explain properly because I'm not a specialist, but you know, these feelings are too complex as we said in the first video. But let's continue with the topic here. Kenopsia therefore reflects more than physical emptiness. It underscores the relationship between human activity and the structures built to contain it. When activity recedes, the built environment remains as evidence of prior function. The contrast draws attention to the fragility of the system that rely on constant participation. And I think that this is one of the most interesting facts because it shows us how humans are connected to its own creations. Like, not all types of environments that we see on these topics are like buildings, constructions. Some of them are related to nature, but how it's interesting how our brain and minds are connected to the things that we create and the memories that we link to it. And with that said, we can see that the response to these spaces is not uniformly negative. Some individuals experience heightened focus or introspection in quiet environments. And in my opinion, maybe humans are evolving to identify those things, those gaps in our brain. Feelings that are not common, but we can kind of say they're interesting to experiment. With reduced sensory input, attention shifts inward. Kenopsia illustrates a central principle of environmental psychology. Spaces derive meaning from use. When use is withdrawn, meaning becomes unstable. The structure persists, but its purpose appears suspended, revealing how closely human presence and physical space are linked. And maybe empty places feel strange because they remind us that spaces were never alive. We were the ones giving them life. Well guys, I think that's it. Thank you for your support. Drop a comment and a like. I'm also using the community a lot, so if you want, come to join us. And I think that I see you in the next one. Give me ideas for the next videos. And follow me on the other platform also. We can interact there. Bye.